Okay, this is Wandering Dragon playing Shining Force 2. We are back fighting this battle that started at the end of the last one, so I decided to cut it there. Oh well, yeah, I forgot that the once you promote all of your bow users, they have a 3 range, which is quite nice. The Assault Shell also has a great animation. So many early JRPGs, I think I said this in the Shining Force 1, but like, it is really true that early JRPGs had a long tradition of sci-fantasy, you know, where you have fantasy settings, but also random, both modern elements like guns, but then also sci-fi elements like robots. So it's been a bit of a fantasy kitchen sink, which is kind of fun. I actually don't dislike it at all. It's just funny how common that is. Because I feel like now, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I sort of see that talked of as kind of a hallmark specifically of Final Fantasy, but it did pop up in other JRPGs as well. It, you know, that kind of, we want to have like knights in shining armor or whatever, but also robots and laser guns. That's apparently was a common game design impulse back in, I don't know, I guess the 80s and 90s? It is cool, to be sure. It definitely gives like a really distinctive sort of aesthetic. Where there's just a lot of weird, fantastical things happening, basically. And so many early games had kind of like the precursor civilization that were all like sci-fi, and it's like, oh, it's actually low-key post-apoc. That was one of the most common things ever, I feel like. But I don't know if that's as common nowadays. I feel like you know, I've played a lot of different Final Fantasy games and also Fire Emblem. I don't feel like I've really played that many other JRPGs in recent years. Because, like, video games these days are quite expensive, my friends, you know. And the thing is, I don't know, you don't see that many, like, or at least maybe I personally just have not come across as many indie JRPGs. I'm gonna guess it's because RPGs are long and like complex to make, so you know you generally are probably gonna need a fair amount of budget. It's a little, maybe it's more difficult to do it as an indie just because you need a larger budget in the studio. This is just my guess because I'm in no way any kind of game creation expert or anything, but you know, it is somewhat. It seems like it would be more labor intensive to make because you need like a massive amount of assets and stuff. You know, JRPGs are fairly long usually. I guess you could make a short one if you wanted, but yeah. So I just, and you know, it's like, do I want to spend $60 on something that, you know, it's kind of an unknown quantity? Whereas when you're getting something for a franchise, you know, it's like, okay, I've liked the other games in this. Probably this one will have at least some features I like. So it feels like a bit safer of an investment there. You know, if stuff has a demo, then, you know, it's something. But sometimes with an RPG, the demo, like the first couple hours of the game doesn't necessarily show you what it'll be like overall, because one hallmark of RPGs is that, you know, your gameplay options increase with time. So early on in the game, it's sort of bare bones. So it's sometimes tough to go out on a limb for an unknown quantity. But that is the advantage, I guess, that long-running franchises have. You know, you kind of know what you're getting more. I should try to, you know, get some more JRPGs at some point, though, and bring some of that in. Wow, the parallax background, you can't see the little indicator of how far you can go. I guess it must be something to do with how the tiling works or something. Like, maybe there are technically, like, there's not a layer for that graphic to be pasted on, I'm not sure. Or something like that. Or the parallax layer is above it somehow or something. But yeah, I really should, like, those lesser demons can dodge really well. I ran into this problem a lot in the Fairy Wood stage, which also has a random lesser demon nearby the Mist Demon where it spawns. They dodge a lot. They have like a high avoid, I don't know. They give like no XP there, it's lame. At this point anyway, they used to. Just didn't get quite close enough there. Just going down this bridge. But yeah, I should try to like find some JRPGs. They also, I do like the crunch and complexity to a certain degree of JRPGs. Lots of fiddly sort of character building aspects, but sometimes, especially when it's like you're trying to get into a new one that, you know, it's not from a franchise you know, you're not familiar with it. you know, not all mechanic systems are going to be equally fun to every person, so sometimes it's a bit of an investment, you know? It's like, do I actually want to play this specific game? You don't know in advance. But I should try to get into some more JRPGs. They're just, they're so fun and colorful. And I do like RPGs. I played more different ones as a kid, and you know, A, games were cheaper then, B, as a child I had more free time. And C, you know, I played quite a few on Game Boy, which obviously is quite a bit cheaper than like buying a Nintendo Switch game. You know, it's, it's a little harder to get into now. But who knows, maybe there's some perfectly nice... I'm gonna use Aura, we can show it off a bit. This is Aura 2, which is much bigger. Let's actually just use Aura 1. We really only have 2 people to heal, you know, let's not go overboard here. It doesn't do as much, but it'll do enough, you know. We'll bring Sarah back in at some point just so we have some extra healing. You can see how she leveled up so much so quickly. Using Aura and Boost just gets so much X. You can get there pretty rapidly. Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. We're in that season. I took my allergy medication too. I feel like I'm just being... My body needs to adjust to the to the autumn. So many trees shedding leaves. But yeah, I should try to get more into some new JRPGs, because as a kid, you know, I played like Dragon Warrior games, obviously Pokemon, played that, I didn't play a Final Fantasy game until I was in like college. I didn't have the systems for them most of the time. Because the ones that were on Nintendo, like, I think were like before I was like little and didn't even know about them. And then, you know, Seven's on PlayStation. I didn't have PlayStation. I had Nintendo consoles. Yeah, and as you know, I never had SNES either. We had Sega, so I think I just never had a console at the time when the game was like new and had just come out. So I never heard of any of them at that point. But I played one of the Sword of Mana games. You know, I did not get that far. I did play Final Fantasy Adventure. I think is actually not a Final Fantasy game. I think it was like, I think it might be Sword of Mana or something, but it was just branded as that when it was ported to the US. So it's technically not a Final Fantasy game. You know, Zelda, quite a lot of different ones. I actually, on this same, you know, this is the Sega Genesis Anniversary Collection or whatever for Switch, and I actually played through a bit of the first Phantasy Star, but then I put it down for a while because I got up to the dungeon where what's her name? It starts with Anna. The character who you're like your buddy who like the main character like rescued her because she's like a mutant or whatever, and she dies and she has a plot death. So I got up to the dungeon where that happens and was slightly demotivated because I was like, oh, I spent all this time trading this character, you know. Now I have to go. But I did play through part of it. I've never played any of the Star Ocean games. I think I played like 3 different Dragon Warrior games. I played, you know, the earliest ones, which are on Game Boy or whatever. In the Game Boy Advance. But I actually, there are tons of Dragon Warrior games, and I've never played one after that. Oh wait, he already was correctly equipped. I think there actually is one that was like ported to Switch too, but I don't know. I enjoyed the ones I played as a kid, but I don't know if I'd be interested in the newer ones. Just rambling on here because there is not a ton to say about this battle. We're just fighting our way across a bridge. This is actually somewhat different from the previous battle we were doing because of the way the bridge is set up. It's actually a much smaller map to a certain degree. Visually it's not, you know, you have the big parallax background on the sides, but in terms of the actual area where our units are fighting, it's actually much smaller. So it's actually a little more straightforward, you know, we're not kind of wandering around this huge map. Do-do-do. Yeah, I really should play more JRPGs. I feel like when I was a kid was definitely like a golden age of JRPGs. There were just so many different ones to choose from. I'm sure there's still tons now if I like spent more time looking into it and finding out about what's out there. Maybe I'll just pop off a quick Blast 3. Just catch all these guys. Oh man, we use so much MP and actually see a number on Garna's MP bar. Are all the units eventually going to get that absurd? I don't think she's like uniquely powerful or anything. She just leveled up before the others did. So are they ultimately all going to be stupidly powerful? This game, the power curve in this game is very different than the previous. Were we also... Oh right, that guy was the boss. Whatever. Phew, that was close. Thank you very much. Did we carry her over there or did she magically gain the ability to walk while we were fighting? Excuse me, will you help me up? No, I'll do it. Jeez, Gandalf, chill the fuck out. We'll take you with us. Tristan is the nearest town. I think you had better rest there. Thank you, sir. You sure are being nice. What is the implication of this? I'm pretty sure this person is supposed to be like a little child. Anyway, Tristan is just over there. Let's go. Why were we going to Tristan? I do not remember. Ben, Peter. What? Don't you want to go to Tristan? Oh, I do, but we shouldn't go to Tristan right now. Why not? Because of me! And she turned out to be a devil, so did Gandalf know that or what? Who are you? Are you a devil? No, he's just a person who transforms into a nonsense monster. I'm one of the leaders of the devil army. My name is Camila. You know, I must have played further into this game than I remembered as a child, because I also named a character in the same fantasy novel I wrote as a kid, where there were some of the gods were Vulcan on Mitula. One of the villains was named Camila, spelled like this with 2 E's. Was there? I feel like there might have been a Camila also in Shining Force Sword of Haja, so it's possible that's where I got the name. Maybe this is just a recurring name in this game, much like Jaha, but maybe I actually played through far enough and I don't really remember any of this at all. I really do not, but maybe I actually did and, you know, it's all in the subconscious somewhere. What do you want? Probably to murder us, dude. Then I came here to get your Jewel of Evil. Zayon told us to bring it to the ancient tower. He didn't mention you. Gandalf, do you not realize that this is obviously one of the villains who wants to hurt us? We've never heard of you. You're not getting the jewel. No, his orders were... Why is she so upset? Zayon finds out you will be... Oh, right. Okay. Rewind in my mind from a year ago. Zayon was the main villain, and that's right. We went to... What's his name's manor or whatever to, like, spy on Zayon, I guess, and his weird thing in the basement. With, like, the spirit or whatever. And Zayon contacted us through that and was like, bring this to the tower or whatever, like the villain being all like, bring this to me. So, I guess this is actually one of the servants of Zayon, and Gandalf is just being a bit of a dick, being like, oh, well, your boss told us to do something else, so you wouldn't want him to find out. But forgive me when I bring him the jewel. So is this idiot just wandering along attacking us when we were already bringing it to Zayon anyway? Enough talking, hand over that jewel. In return, I'll spare Sir Astral. Is that this guy's name? Is Gandalf's name Sir Astral? I have forgotten. To me, he's Gandalf. Do you want me to kill this old man? Isn't he really powerful? The jewel can't be removed from Ben's neck. Do you really think that you can kill me? You need a Balrog to do that. Of course. Ha! He does seem to have anti-devil powers. Oops. Shoot Barbo. He doesn't help us in battle or anything. He's kind of lazy. Well done, you dodged my fireball. What a surprising old wizard. Is it really surprising when a wizard shoots a fireball at you? I feel like that is actually the least surprising thing possible. It'd be much more surprising if he like falcon punched you off a cliff. That would be like a wizard who could punch people. I didn't think I could obtain the jewel that easily. Haha. This is gonna be fun, Ben. Keep it for a while. Then why were you here in the first place? Why did we have to even do any of this? This was stupid. Wait! Be careful of Gashp and Zalbahard. I guess those are some other devils. Did she just jump off this bridge? She was like, bye! Ah, she's gone. Okay, Ben, let's go to Tristan. Would you please explain what just happened? Peter, I think it was very straightforward. You don't know? Everything here was set up by Camila. It was a trap to get the Jewel of Evil. but it completely didn't work, and she retreated as soon as we showed any sign of resistance, so really this was a very stupid plan. Your fireball, as if you knew what she was from the beginning. Not really, he only shot the fireball way after she revealed herself. Yes, I did, but I still made you fight this entire battle. Her evil aura was apparent. By the way, did you hear what she said? They're all acting on their own, ignoring Zaon's orders. The devils are apparently not a very healthy worker. It will be dangerous. We must be careful. Okay, that's thrills a minute to be sure. We're only halfway through this episode. This is a short battle. Okay, so we're gonna go to Tristan. It looks like there's not a ton to find in this town, just a little bit. Oh, is there anything here? There's not. There's like 2 random items to find, nothing super rare. Oops. God damn it. Got a little turned around there. I guess it's up here. Alright, here's the town. Okay, good. Here we are in Tristan, which is filled with birds? Tristan is ruled by the goddess Mitula, and so we have no king. I'm less curious about that and more curious about why you're a duck. Like, and no one else is. There are some wolf people like Gerald, though. Devils, they'd better not come to Parmesha. As long as Mitula and Vulcanon are watching, they're not, unfortunately, they're not. And some of them are elves. Is this just like a really diverse town? You have ducks, wolf people, and elves. Oh, you're from South Parmesha? Welcome. The longer you stay, the more you'll like it here. Is there something weird about the town? What's up, boy? We guarantee all items be in good condition. I don't need any. I don't think there's any new weapons at this point. Oh, is the Chrome Lance new? It might be. Jeez, it's been like 1 battle and we already found better weapons. This is escalating quickly. Let's make Karna even more unstoppable. Why not? Is the Great Axe better than the sword that we have? For Jaha. It is 1 point worse. So whatever. I think the Chrome Lance was new. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, Chester! Oh, yeah, I forgot. Jeez, no wonder he wasn't doing a lot of damage. I forgot to buy him new weapons when we promoted him. So it is a tiny bit better than what we have. The heavy lances. I guess Higgins may as well get one even though we're not using it. And for the others, we're gonna sell... Oops, wrong button. We're gonna sell their existing lances and buy these new ones. Yeah, geez, no wonder. I was like, oh, Chester. Because I was thinking to myself, oh, he didn't do that much damage. Maybe it's like to compensate for the fact that he can fly, you know, that like it's for balance. It's because I didn't equip him correctly. He still did a decent chunk even with that. Pretty good. Okay. Now we're gonna buy some shit. So Chrome Lances. I don't think we're gonna need... I think, you can see we've only got like 1 new weapon here basically. I don't think we're going to be buying new weapons for a little while. Because we did just get a fairly massive upgrade. So. Okay, good. And that's... Well, that was good at least. I managed to get those weapons. Let's continue exploring the mysteries of this very diverse town. Is this a Kiwi? Is this where he comes from? It hasn't rained here lately? No kidding. Everything is okay as long as Mitula's here. Yeah, it looks like maybe a kappa or something. That must be what Kiwi is. It's a dwarf. This is... So Mitula City just has members of every species in the game. Storytellers in the shrine tell us the legends of the world. Sometimes it's difficult for us to understand their true meanings. The bookshelves, Mitula's Code. Another wolf. Oh, a fairy. I've not seen her here, but she is in the shrine. Mitula Shrine is behind the caverns of Tristan. Okay, good. And there's a fairy, so literally it's just every species. Mitula receives her holy energy from ground orb. Is that what was sealed in the ground seal? It rests on the statue of Mitula in the shrine. So she's actually ground element. So I guess it's like Vulcanon and Mitula are like earth and sky. And she also rules water, and he also rules fire. Is there a way up there, or... Is there like another staircase I did not notice? Looks like nope. It's interesting though, because compared to the first game, this town does appear to have basically every species, except the horse people who we met just in the last town. Elves are still here, but the first game had a lot of like animal people. Some of our wizards with them, they were like dog people and stuff. This game does not appear to have them, so that appears to be one difference from the previous game. No half giants either, like Gong. Goddess Mitula can control the weather. A few wizards in the shrine also use the power of nature. This is the dwarf. Ben investigated the statue. A statue of beautiful Mitula. It's kind of a very generic looking statue, honestly. It looks sort of tiny. This must be how we get down to the rest of these buildings. I just want to check everything out. It's another What about the devil army and stuff? I guess we might as well save the game. Nobody's dead. And actually, we may promote some more people in the future, because eventually you get to go back to What's-His-Name's mansion and recruit those like other 3 people that we didn't get the first time. Because we chose Karna of like the 4 of them or whatever. Who is by far the most useful, I would say. But you do eventually get to have the others join you. Okay, what's in here? Just a treasure chest with a fucking healing seed. There's like a little cave built into a mountain, and it's in the shape of a question mark, which seems very pretentious and mysterious and cool, and all it has is a fucking healing seed. That is disappointing. What's up here? Another mystery cave? This one is a basement. A protect milk, not bad. Oh, I think that's actually all of the items to find here. Yeah, so then we'll go through, and there's, I think after this is a battle. It's only 22 minutes. I don't know if the battle will even take that long. We'll see how long it takes us to get through the rest of the town. Maybe we'll split it into 2 episodes, maybe we'll not. We'll see. Jesus, actually a fair amount to explore here. I'm a little lost already. Where are we going? Oh, there's another item. Interesting. This was actually not listed in the guide that I'm using. It's more items than I thought. Maybe these are things that they expect you to find like after the next part or whatever. That was... It's funny, there was like a whole elaborate like dungeon there, but there was not a lot of point to it. Yeah, and we're back where we prefer. Okay. So let's go on to the battle. You can't enter Mitula's shrine now. Sir Astral, what do we do now? Ben, what do you think? What? Ben talked? Wow, I don't think he said a single line in the entire game thus far, and now he actually has some dialogue. Because literally, there have been multiple different cutscenes prior to this, as I'm sure our hypothetical audience will recall, where other NPCs talked to Ben, and Peter replied for him. Like, he didn't say anything, so I sort of thought that he was just going to be the kind of heroic mime type for the whole game, because he had no dialogue yet. So, and in places where he was clearly meant to be talking, and the other characters were just telling us what he said. But apparently they changed their minds halfway. Oh man, what voice would his real name is Bowie, his official name. Oh, what voice would he have? He seems like an 80s action hero, like, I'm not sure. But let's just give him a normal voice. I'm not sure. Ben, it's obvious. Then why did he even have dialogue? What was the point of this? I agree. We have to see the storytellers and listen to the legends. What legends? Make a break for it. Why did they even... It's really baffling that Ben had dialogue there, because this wasn't some pivotal moment in the game where this indicates a transformation of character. And also, he only said, I'm not sure. That was pointless. Wait, you must not enter the Holy Shrine. This is just like what we did with Creed's mansion. That's his name, Creed. So be it, let the truth be known. Wow, they didn't try very hard to hide this. As we were kind of warned, Mitula Shrine has been taken over by monsters. The people in Pakalon pretty much told us that. Go away, the devils already occupy this shrine. Devils again? Who the fuck were you expecting, Gandalf? It's devils all the way down. Ben, attack! Okay. Okay. You know, it's been 25 minutes, so let's cut this. Let's look at the map briefly, and then we'll cut this one a little short. This is also a very neat graphical effect, I have to say. This, like, reflection of the sky. It's very cool. It's pretty. It definitely gives the map kind of a unique little flair. And this is the temple, and looks like I'm assuming this is the boss because he's our only new enemy, the Orc Lord. I did see one of those in the Fairy Wood, though. There's a lot of random enemies in there. Now, this treasure chest is interesting. Apparently, there's no way for us to get this chest, but all it had was a shining ball, which is a pretty useless item. It does 20 damage to a monster, which is super useless. We can do way more than that. Apparently, in the Japanese version of the game, you could use the search command in battle and open chests, which you could also do in the first Shining Force game. In the English version of this game, you cannot do that. That's why in all the previous battles where there were chests, we've opened them after the battle is over. However, Ben cannot cross the water, so after the battle is over, we will not be able to reach this chest. Only our flying characters could do that during battle, but they cannot search. Fortunately, the item we miss out on is not important at all. But that's just a neat little trivia that I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like these little lily pad graphics too. This definitely like evokes the feel of like this super peaceful, contemplative shrine, you know? So it looks like basically fight some people in this middle area. Oh, there's 2 Orcloids actually. Maybe there's not a boss this level, I don't know. Or maybe it's a Dark Knight, who knows. So basically we'll just walk forward. I don't think this battle will be very long. Yeah, I don't think it'll be very long, but I could be wrong. So let's actually cut it here. So we reach the town of Tristan, which is very diverse. It has like, maybe the idea is that pilgrims come from everywhere to meet Mitula, so like it just has people from all of the places we've met so far, just to show how many people come here. The only one I'm actually baffled by is the talking duck, because the first character we saw was literally, as far as I could tell, just a normal duck, but talking, and I don't remember us meeting talking animals anywhere else in the game. So the bird people we met are like literally like anthropomorphic. They're like Luke and, you know, Luke the bird dude. They're not little ducks, so I'm very confused by that. But after our long journey here in North Parmesha, we have actually reached the Shrine of Mitula at last. Unfortunately, it's been taken over by devils. And also we're being opposed by Camila, Geshp, and what was the other guy's name? I forget. But anyway, there's a bunch of devils who are just all kind of doing their own thing and attacking us. So we, you know, clearly the stakes are high for our heroes. But in the next episode, we are going to fight our way to the Shrine of Mitula and hopefully rescue her from these devils and, I guess, get her to make it rain for Pakalon so they don't all die, and tell us where to go next on our quest. So thank you, hypothetical viewers. This has been Shining Force 2, and we'll